Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode 154. I think maybe last week I had it wrong. I don't know. I'm sorry it's late. Listen, it's Monday, and I know what everyone on Friday was freaking out. Oh my God, where's the latest episode of the What Are We Doing podcast? And so it's fine. Listen, I was on vacation. I had one vacation. I took a little teeny tiny baby vacation, okay? Did I work half of it? Probably most likely yes, but it's fine. We're back now. I wanted to record a podcast there on vacation, but guess what? I left the microphone here. I unplugged it, but I never screwed it off this thing right here. And so even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have been able to because I wouldn't have had this microphone to deliver the best quality for you guys. So I just decided to wait out the weekend, finish the vacation. We got home early Saturday. And so here we are. It's back. It's studio time. I'm glad to be back. It feels good. It feels good in here. It feels great. The comments on YouTube. I mean, listen, dude, we've been battling this guy. Oh, since yesterday. I've been going back and forth arguing with a man. I think somebody, I don't even know. I don't even know who this person is, but we're going to talk about it because I said I would. He said, you know what I mean? He was like, hey, stop spilling lies. And I said, hey, I'm just going to address it on the pod. And he said, yeah, you should do that. And so here I am. And his claim, listen to what this guy said to me after, he watched one of my clips, okay? Now, I don't understand the mentality here, okay, when it comes to these people and when, you know, they see my content and they're like, hey, what, and they just have something so very fun to say. And it's always a good time. It's always a good time for anybody. So here's what he says. He says, and his name is FBGM Roadrunner 456. Okay, great. Fuck bitches, get money. Roadrunner 456.
What are we doing?
Oh, it feels good to hit that button for the first time. We're going to keep pressing it. We've got so many people. Listen, we're taking down a YouTube legend today. This comment stuff is only the beginning. Look what this idiot said to me. He said, bro, go to trade school already. 2 clown emojis.
What are we doing?
Nobody wants a nobody's take on pop culture topics. And so right off the gate, I think the emojis were for me, calling me a clown. And so a nobody's takes. And I immediately said, because clearly he hasn't seen past episodes, he hasn't been watching for 150 plus weeks. It's fine. We'll educate him. I told him, I said, listen, I just got my student loans forgiven.
What are we doing?
And so how else do you think, like, instead of paying student loans now every month, how else do you think I'm able to afford my private helicopter and the pilot who flies it every week from central Pennsylvania to New York City just to record this podcast, my guy?
What are we doing?
Like, we're in a high rise right now. Like, if you think that I'm delivering this quality of an episode, of a podcast, a broadcast, a video, whatever you want to refer this as, if you think I'm delivering this quality in Mechanicsburg,
what are we doing?
Central PA, you got another thing coming. I would never, okay? We're broadcasting live from the penthouse that we rent monthly. I pay monthly, even though I'm there only once a week to record this episode. It's the biggest expense on our books, but it has to be done to bring you the best of the best every week, and it wouldn't be for my student list. So I told him, I can't go to trade. I already went to trade school. I graduated trade school in 2010.
What are we doing?
And so then he responded, and he edited it. And I'm not even going to bother looking at the edited version. He says, "You can try lying to one of the viewers who are still in middle school. Thank God the rest of my viewers have graduated from middle school and are now of age to actually watch the show."
What are we doing?
But any adult reading these comments just busted out laughing at how childish you sound. Hey, keep wasting your money on helicopter rides to a studio setup anyone can make it home for $1,000.
What are we doing?
This camera costs more than that. Also, I know you're lying about trade school because a real man who could pass a trade school wouldn't be wasting their time on a shitty blog.
What are we doing?
Well, that's funny because I thought this was a podcast. And so it's fine. We're going to let him know. Okay, it's fine. It's a blog, vlog, whatever the kids are calling it now. I guess podcasts are just blogs now. Is that what's happening? Okay. I didn't get the memo. No one told me I'm just a little bitty baby podcast. They would be making bank through that trade. You keep commenting whatever you want. No one on the internet will believe you. Well, this is news to me. And so then he comments again. Who spends money on helicopter rides every week for $1,000 setup studio anyone can do at home? Liars!
What are we doing?
Liars. That's who. And apparently, that's me. Oh, we keep going. I mean, you can easily tell the background is fake and just a banner taped up behind you.
What are we doing?
How come not a single light in the city never changes in any of your videos? Crying face, and he ends it with one final edit. Lie to somebody else because you ain't gonna lie to me.
What are we doing?
And to that I say, the only thing I guess I really need to prove to the fact that we are in fact live. Listen, to be realistic, it's kind of like a $1 million studio, okay? Like the $1,000, like, come on. The four things in front of me are equivalent to more than $1,000.
What are we doing?
And so, listen, and as far as the New York City landscape behind me, that can be chalked up to one simple explanation, okay? Because you don't know anything about set production, high quality video equipment, let me clue you in, Mr. Fuck My Bitch Get Money, okay? What happens when you have this high caliber of equipment is you need to match it to the frequency of the lighting within your studio to get the best results. I don't match the frequency of the office building all the way my helicopter ride over there.
What are we doing?
I match it to the frequency of the lights in the studio so to get the best results. You don't see it because it's capturing it at a different frame rate, okay? Watch an MKBHD video.
What are we doing?
And you'll understand how frame rate and light and frequency works to the point where, listen, if you look, I'll be honest with you. If you look right now, hold on, look, if you look right here, and I'll zoom in for you. If you look right here is my other New York City apartment. And you can see the footage of me fucking the shit out of your mom last night.
If you got something to say, say it to my head. If you got something to say, Donald, say it to my head. If you got something to say, Donald, say it to my head. Donald, to my head. Donald, to my head. If you got something to say, Donald, say it to my head.
You know what I mean, dude? Like, it's kind of insane. That's where we're at. So the comments are popping, bro. The comments are popping. Oh, and then I told him, I said, well, you actually got me because with the pilot and the tip I give him every week, it's actually $1,300.
What are we doing?
It's not $1,000 per ride. It's $1,300. He doesn't like me, I don't think. Okay, bud. You know what I mean? It's a mid-ass studio setup reveal. Did you not see? I pointed out where we were, me and your mom, last night.
What are we doing?
And so, listen. It's fine, bro. All the other comments have been pretty positive, you know what I mean, for the most part. But listen, we've got breaking news. Dee-dee-dee-ba-doom-ba-doom-doom-doom. We can't get through it without Donald Trump news on Saturday. This is how insane this man is. It's just one of these situations where, you know, it's just, it makes us, it helps us believe and understand why Donald Trump should just probably go away and never come back. He's posted a series of AI generated images on True Social account, because that's the only place, it's the only social media that matters, okay?
What are we doing?
He posted AI-generated images on his True Social account, falsely claiming that Taylor Swift endorsed him for president. So what happened and what led to this is what none of the news outlets obviously are covering because they have no idea what's going on.
What are we doing?
But it's okay, I'm going to tell you, and this is why Mr. FDB Get Money needs to listen and subscribe and pay attention because you're not getting this shit anywhere else. The reason this happened is because Big Daddy Elon, released version 2.0 of his Gronk Emperor's Groove AI Chat GPT competitor. And so with that release comes AI image generation. And unfortunately, it is and remains till this very moment unhinged to the point where you can tell it's just about anything.
What are we doing?
Like some of the images that are circulating that I cannot put on the screen because I'll probably get taken down or in some serious trouble is like, zaddy trumpets in a plane with an AR-15 headed for the Twin Towers on a specific date in 2001. Like it's a problem. You can put in any IP, any celebrity, any person this model is trained on. Elon Musk gave it no restrictions.
What are we doing?
There's no restrictions here. And so the issue with that is people are now generating whatever they want. We had this issue a few months ago with Taylor, and she had all of these AI images taken down, but the problem is they're back now. So people are using Gronk because it's only $8 a month on Twitter, X Pro, Blue, Pro X, whatever Elon Musk has it called now. X Pro, I think, or Twitter Blue. I don't know. And so Trump gets a whiff. Somebody generated Taylor Swift supporting Donald Trump, endorsing him, like showing her support for zaddy trumpets. And the issue with that is they're fake. It's not real. It's AI. Hey, what's an image?
What are we doing?
And so Donald Trump then discovered Swifties for Trump was trending. People with T-shirts with AI generated had that on. And so Donald Trump, in his infinite wisdom over the weekend, just came with the heat. Donald Trump downloaded them all and made the post and said, I accept. Taylor wants you to vote for Donald Trump. And I quote, Donald Trump says, I accept.
What are we doing?
The issue is, I'm almost positive that Taylor Swift would want nothing more than for Donald Trump to just be non-existent on this planet anymore. I'm pretty sure she does not like him. I'm pretty sure she is not endorsing him, okay? The pop star is yet to put her name behind a presidential candidate for the 2024 election, but let it be known that she endorsed Joe Biden in 2020 and took aim at Trump in a tweet that year following his response to the George Floyd protests, of course. Everyone remembers that mess. Not the protest, but Donald Trump and Taylor Swift. After stoking the fires of white supremacy and racism your entire presidency, you have the nerve to you have the nerve to feed moral superiority before threatening violence. When the looting starts, the shooting starts, Swift wrote. We will vote you out in November. Trump previously mused about Swift in a Variety co-editor-in-chief Raman Saduk's book Appearance in Wonderland, how Donald Trump and Mark Burnett took America through the looking glass, called her beautiful but liberal. I think she's beautiful, very beautiful, very beautiful. I find her beautiful. I think she's liberal. She probably doesn't like Trump. I hear she's very talented, he said. This is Donald Trump talking about Taylor Swift in the article.
What are we doing?
I mean, it's just, so now we've got all of the fake news. And of course, the Democrats are now using this against him. And this is what he's got now. We're starting to see everything die down. Nothing's been had this week. We're over it. And honestly, I can't keep it in much longer, okay? I'm coming out against MrBeast, okay?
What are we doing?
I thought I could get through it with the op-ed we did last week, but listen, what a lot of people don't know, it's one of the many pieces of my life that I have not put on the internet. Part of it was because of my contract, but now that I've officially been let go, /quit, /was fired, I was to an ex-employee /contender in one of MrBeast's videos.
What are we doing?
And I haven't, only a few people in my family know. It's been, honestly, it's been one of the most traumatic episodes of my life. Working for Jimmy Donaldson, I mean, just really, I was force-fed chocolate every day. I mean, on top of many other things. Listen, in the beginning of my employee, it was cool. I got the call from Jimmy himself. He was like, yo, bro, we want to bring you on the team. Okay. Like we had it, like you could go. There was a gym, a locker room. We played pool, video games. We hung out. Jimmy paid for everything. Like I literally didn't pay for my life for like a year.
What are we doing?
Like he gives you a house, a salary. Like it's a wild time working at Beastie Corpo. Okay. And so the issue was like 6 months, 9 months into the whole thing, things started getting weird. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's, and this was I kind of came in the beginning /middle of, Ava's transition. Like everyone was on board. We love her. We're allies on this podcast all the way. Okay. And we love it. Okay. But the issue was like, it started like around the office. It didn't start with me. Like it kind of like, I was like one of the last people. I was like Ava's friend, like kind of till she left. We still kind of talk now, but like it was a situation where like she started swinging her dick around the office.
What are we doing?
And so when it came time, that aside, when it came time to do the video that I was promised, so when you get a job at MrBeast, you're either a level 1, which is like the Chandlers, the Chris's, of course. A level 2, you're kind of in the videos most of the time. A level 3 or a level 4. If you're a level 4 employee, you're kind of like the janitor. He doesn't really give a shit about you. And like, that's just not me saying that. That's like in the handbook that just leaked. You can go find that online. He basically says, if your ambition isn't to get to a level 2 or a level 1 in this company, you should just leave right now.
What are we doing?
And so that's kind of the atmosphere and pressure that Jimmy puts on you. Like, if you're not good on camera, you're no good to him. But my contract, I came in at a level 3, so I got at least one video filmed. It was never promised to air, but in order to get it to air, you had to come in at a level 2, but I was a level 3, so I at least got a video filmed. But unfortunately, it didn't air, okay? And so when it was time to do my video, it was going to be, they hype this one up as one of their biggest videos yet. This was like supposed to be a day before the Squid Games video drop. Like this was supposed to be what took Jimmy into the next planet. You know what I mean? And so when they told me that, I was like, wow, like how lucky. Like this has never happened to a level 3 before. This will probably, if I do good, if I win the challenge, if we go viral, I'll probably get, I'll probably get like an upgrade. Like I'll get a promotion to level 2. I'll be in more videos. Like this is it. This is my big break. I'm going to be a main character for MrBeast. I was so excited.
What are we doing?
And so, but the issue was, here was the challenge. The challenge was essentially something that was just impossible to win. They wouldn't tell me what it was. Like they were dropping hints, but I wasn't allowed to know for shock and virality factor until we actually started filming. All I knew was that I was going to potentially win $1 million if I did something for 100 days. So it was like, survive 100 days on a yacht or in a bunker or on a farm, like whatever the challenge was, I had to do for 100 days and then I would win $1 million. And I was locked in. Okay. The issue was when I showed up to set, the challenge, which I wasn't able to talk about due to non-competes and everything else, the challenge, MrBeast was challenging me. I had to live and survive in a Planet Fitness locker room for 100 days.
What are we doing?
When I tell you that this was not only impossible, but it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, like I would be just trying to sleep. And like I wasn't allowed to leave. I couldn't use the workout equipment. I had to stay in the locker room. So like damp from the showers, the hard floor because it's wet and sweaty and gross. And like the benches, like I didn't even get for the first 4 days. I didn't even have like a sleeping bag or a bed. I had to sleep on the floor. One night I slept on the skinny bench that's in the Planet Fitness.
What are we doing?
It was a nightmare. And so and then just when I would finally get an ounce of sleep, I would be woken up by the sounds and sometimes the feelings of an old man's flaccid penis just running across my cheek as he wanders and stumbles into the locker room.
What are we doing?
And it's one of those things like Jimmy would come in and he would check in on me and he would like make me say weird things like, thanks to MrBeast, I paid off all of my $300,000 worth of credit card debt because that's and gambling, and I no longer gamble thanks to our friends and the help of DraftKings.
What are we doing?
I would have to say these things, and like I would have to do ads for Planet Fitness, and like Jimmy incorporated Feastables into it in this weird way. He was like, if you work out at Planet Fitness, you're fit for Feastables.
What are we doing?
And then you know how Planet Fitness used to, now they don't anymore because like they almost got canceled. Like Planet Fitness every Tuesday would order 500 pizzas, and this was every location across the country. Every Tuesday they would order 500 pizzas from the nearest Little Caesars because it was the cheapest they could find, and they would give out free slices of pizza to anyone who would come into the gym to work out.
What are we doing?
This was and then it obviously started to spread amongst the homeless community. And then they just started sharing their memberships. They only had to pay $1 a month if they had 9 homeless friends. And then every Tuesday they would line up and rotate on the hour outside of the local Planet Fitness.
What are we doing?
And it's just utterly disgusting. And so it quickly became an issue. I don't think they do it anymore, but to bring that back, Jimmy brought back Feastables Fridays, and every Friday I was there in the challenge. I was there for 100 days, so it was 3 months. So it was it was so many times. he would have 100,000 candy bars brought in, and there would be a line wrapped around this Planet Fitness just to get a Feastables bar from MrBeast for the chance to win. Like, he was giving away Teslas and shit.
What are we doing?
I didn't get any of it. I didn't get any of that. And like, I couldn't do it. He didn't give me a sleeping bag. He didn't give me anything. I couldn't sleep. And he, every day he would come in and remind me, if you cross that line, you're out. Your family's depending on you. If you cross that line, you're out. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those situations where like I wasn't able to really do anything about my living situation other than quit. So I gave up. I forfeited everything. I was wet. I was hot. It was uncomfortable in there. Like, I started to crack, dude. I started to crack, and it was literally 97 days in. Like, I made it that long, and honestly, like, he literally at the time, and this is part of the bullshit fucking shit that you sign when you're an employee for MrBeast. At the time, he offered me, he was like, okay, well, Levi, since you made it 97 days, I'm going to give you a Tesla and one of those Chipotle for life, like David Dobrik gift cards that he used to get. Okay. And I know you're like, okay, well, what the fuck, Levi, you didn't get $1 million. What are you complaining about? You got a Tesla and free Chipotle for life.
What are we doing?
What's wrong with that? Well, I'll tell you, did I get the prizes? Oh, I got the prizes all right. And the prizes consist of a $6 Hot Wheels Tesla.
What are we doing?
And when I finally, after a year's time, got the Chipotle card in the mail, come to find out, it only had a $500 budget on it.
What are we doing?
And we tested it. We thought maybe, it'll reload every $500. No, I bought all of my friends and family Chipotle, and now it has nothing. I've tried every day for the last 2 months to use it, and I've called, I've emailed corporate, I've emailed Jimmy. They've changed their email. It's a whole scam going over there. I'm just saying, look out for MrBeast.
What are we doing?
Okay. And apparently, like, it's like, listen, this is it. Basically, with my testimony and everything else that's out there, it's done. We did it. We finally officially canceled MrBeast. Okay. And according to the statistics from his website, by the way, okay, viewstats.com, MrBeast, his main channel, saw 153 million views less in the last month.
What are we doing?
And 153 million less for MrBeast is a big deal. Now, a lot of people would say and then speculate that that would cost him upwards of $700,000. But if we look at his posting schedule, you will notice, just giving him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, you'll notice that he didn't post one less video this month and like 10 less shorts or something. So like his views would normally be down. Okay. Now, the only other news that we have coming out about good old Mr. Jimmy to wrap up this cancellation piece, because we've got others coming.
What are we doing?
We're canceling at least one more today, and it breaks my heart to do it, but it's happening. Okay. Jake Paul's former manager.
What are we doing?
Was somehow allowed to compete in the Amazon Prime show Beast Games. And with what we reported on last week and everything we're seeing online, it's not going good over at Amazon.
What are we doing?
And so apparently the execs over there and good old, Daddy Amazon, what's his name? Daddy Bezos, isn't happy with the kind of downfall of the Beast brand while all this is going on in the production of his new $5 million game show.
What are we doing?
And so apparently Jake Paul's former manager, who we have a few people, I think 5 or 6 people verifying he was in fact allowed to compete in some of the very beginning games within the Beast games was kicked off the show for alleged inappropriate behavior towards, guess who? The female contestant.
What are we doing?
And so now that we have his whole name, and I'm not saying his name because I just can't pronounce it. It's like Armani Izadi, I think is how you exactly, I think that's how you do it. I think I might have got it. Armani, Jake Paul's former manager, not so nice with the female contestants. He was previously charged. Oh, and get this. We Googled him. He was previously charged with battery, kidnapping, pimping. Like, dude, getting snagged for pimping?
What are we doing?
How do you, I thought the last time that charge was given out was with Snoop Dogg. You know what I mean? And robbery. He pled guilty to the pimping charge, by the way. Of course. Why was he allowed to compete, Jimmy?
What are we doing?
So it's just kind of not looking good. And with my ex-employment testimony that was 100%, 100% made up, we should be witnessing the downfall of Beast Co. You know what I mean? And so, speaking of which, listen to this. Great news, everyone.
What are we doing?
Apparently, every social security number that ever existed has just been splattered all over the internet like confetti. And listen, I figured it out, okay? I've had a few days to think, and I have a brilliant idea.
What are we doing?
Maybe, just maybe, it's time to stop with the godforsaken social security numbers for everything. Hey!
What are we doing?
Okay, they're about as secure as a paper bag in a hurricane, so why are we still clinging to this ancient system like it's a holy grail? I've said it so many times. Your phone number is more secure or should be more valuable to you than your social security number.
What are we doing?
Listen, me alone as a person, now you'll never be able to find your accesses, but me as a person, as a business owner, I have a list of 15 individual social security numbers. They're not that secure.
What are we doing?
It's a situation where I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner. Let's break it down, okay? This thing shouldn't really, now that it's all out there, it shouldn't exist, okay? Your social security card is a flimsy piece of paper that's mailed to you as if it's like a birthday card from your grandma, okay? As soon as you're born, your parents fill out the information at the hospital, you get in the mail, okay? And if you ever, which I'm pretty sure I have, I might maybe kind of sort of, I think I have potentially have already done this for all of my family members, but if you laminate it,
what are we doing?
Congratulations, it's now invalid. So, relying on a technology that can be destroyed by lamination, it's a lamb-a-freaking-nation. You know what I mean? It's insanity. And so it's the same prehistoric technology that we use to prove who we are on the internet, a place where, may I remind you, anything can be hacked or leaked faster than you can say identity theft. We're not.
What are we doing?
All paying for the proper services to be protected here. So listen, these cards have been around since 1935. It's before computers. It's before the internet. It's before anyone even thought that a phone like this or this video that you're watching it on would be anything other than a box attached to a wall or in a briefcase that you only keep in your car. Okay. So if you went back to when social security numbers and cards were first issued to American citizens and had an iPhone 12 with you, okay, that's how I afford the helicopter rides. I only have an iPhone 12. I haven't paid on this phone in 12 years. That's how I can afford the helicopter.
What are we doing?
And so, you'd be, if you whipped that out back then, you'd be at the stake for witchcraft. So Fast forward, here we are in 2024, and we're yelling at each other through the internet. I've got dudes who are fucking my bitch and making money on YouTube, commenting, telling me I need to go back to college for some unknown hatred of a reason. And yet the US government still has us shackled to a not so basically secure numbered system that predates sliced bread. And guess what? Like now, basically because of this hack, it's not secure. 0% secure. So you can't even call it your social security number. It's just your number. Okay. But yet it's still our golden, like you still need it. You can't go to the bank right now and buy a house without it. You can't rent an apartment. You can't lease a car. You can't go back to college. I can't go back to trade school now because I don't have a social security number, FBG.
What are we doing?
You know what I mean? Like, it's like you can't, it controls whether you get a job, like data breach or not. So like, so here's the issue. Here's the breakdown. Here's everything that happened. What's the company's name? The company's name is the National Public Data Association. Ever heard of them? No, you haven't. No one has.
What are we doing?
And neither did I until we decided that, they needed to collect every piece of background check data on the planet when they got hacked, okay? And who uses the data? Of course, everyone needs background checks. It should just be the government. It should just be employers. But of course, we've got landlords, employers. Anyone who has $100 can go online and get a background check on the average citizen, okay? They use this info to decide whether or not you're worthy enough to rent from or to get your dream job that barely covers your $17 lunch.
What are we doing?
And so, because, nothing stays stable, like our economy, like everyone, listen, we're teetering on the edge of financial ruin. And now the National Public Data Company has been quiet. They've been quietly assuming that, like our entire treasure trove of personal info was their gold mine. And so back in April, they got hacked. Their response was a tiny little kind of oops, our bad note on their website, a blog post. They updated their website with a blog post in 2024.
What are we doing?
If I could get 5 of my clients to do the same thing, we'd be looking real good. But, it's an issue. So they updated their blog that no one really saw. And so, like, they just said, oops, our bad, no biggie, right? Except that's where there's no real data privacy laws in this country. So no one really even blinked an eye, okay? Almost no one. Some random identity protection company caught wind of this, and some of their clients decided to sue. A Bloomberg reporter stumbled upon the lawsuit, and now here we are 4 months later, finally finding out that our data has been out there all this time.
What are we doing?
And so now basically everyone's just basically scrambling to lock down their credit reports and begging the credit bureaus for mercy. And I've got a better idea. Instead, how about, hear me out, listen to this. Hey, if you're the US government, I know you're listening probably, or if you're Joe Rogan or you have anyone with power, Elon Musk, listen up. Instead, I've got a better idea. How about we stop using social security numbers for everything?
What are we doing?
And we slap together a real data privacy law and I don't know, maybe regulate how credit reports are run, or we can just keep sitting around with our thumbs up our asses waiting for the next massive data breach. That's most likely more than 2.9 billion lines of personal info that's just out in the world. And it's selling, I think right now, I think it's on the black market. What was it? 3.5 million Bitcoin? Bitcoin. That's it. We're dealing with Bitcoin and social security numbers from 1935. What a time to be alive. Your data is out there. It's not safe. Who cares? So post whatever you want.
What are we doing?
Keep posting frozen meals and pizzas for $1 on Facebook Marketplace. Keep posting pictures of your children. The internet's not real. Taylor Swift doesn't endorse Joe Biden. I mean, it's all AI. It's all AI at this point. And that's why, listen, I told my friends, I'm going off the grid. I'm going off the grid and I'm getting a new phone number. I'm changing my name and no one's going to hear from me for 15 years. And then I'm going to pop up again maybe, But other than that, that's it. I'm kind of done. I'm done with being a citizen. We're going to move to Dubai for tax reasons. It's where the companies are held now.
What are we doing?
So it's what we do. And on a lighter note, before we get to this final cancellation, we've got a real treat. We've got a real treat for everybody. And I thought, I thought we were done. I thought she learned her lesson. I thought her mom and that mean lady from Dance Moms gave JoJo Siwa a talking to. Okay?
What are we doing?
Essentially, what's going on now is we have a new dance from JoJo. Do we have audio here? What's the audio sound like? Oh God, they're gonna copyright us. Let's just do it with no audio. We'll put our own audio in for this segment because we've got a new dance from Mrs. Siwa. And if this one isn't better and even awesomer than the last one, go back. I don't know what is. So if you're tuning in now, get ready, grab a snack. We're going to learn this together and make fun of JoJo Siwa. This dance, look at this dance from JoJo Siwa. This is her new dance. And I mean, it's dare I say elephant-like. I mean, oh, yes. Oh my God, look at this. So here's the elephant. There it is. Oh, go back. Can we go back? No. We can't go back. The controls don't work. F you, Facebook. Let's just watch it again. So here comes, let's analyze this. So the scooping is interesting. What we need to figure out here with JoJo Siwa is if she is in fact a better dancer than Raygun, this Olympic dancer from the Olympics. I'm not going to speak on Raygun this week for a variety of reasons.
What are we doing?
Because, listen, everyone is shitting on my girl, okay? She made it to the Olympics.
What are we doing?
And so the same way that everyone quickly switched up on the boxer, like remember when everyone was like, hey, why'd they let this person box this female in the Olympics? And then once everyone actually read the article, Joe Rogan, everyone realized, oh, she's actually allowed to be there. Go you're winning, boo. Do your thing. Win, girl, win. But when it comes to Raygun, the whole bit is, no, she's canceled. Get her out. She's a scammer. She stacked the deck. She's the worst. She killed democracy. She's worse than Joe Biden.
What are we doing?
When it comes to killing democracy because she apparently had her boyfriend on the committee and her friends judged her there. Listen, if this was the best that they could do, this is the best. They sent her, and apparently, according to other podcasts, according to, the Church of What's Happening Now, this was an attack on the people who really worked hard to get to the Olympics, to the point where we just need to do this person. They should strip Raygun.
What are we doing?
Of everything. And to that I say, hey, if your daughters can dance like that, why aren't they in the Olympics?
What are we doing?
If you can do better, why weren't you in the Olympics?
What are we doing?
I'm going to keep hitting this button until I get a genuine answer. For everyone who is hating on the Australian breakdancer from Australia. So, it's a scam. She scammed us all. Listen to me right now. It's the Olympics. It is a 1,000-year-old organization. They are there for one thing and one thing only, for all of you to make it go viral so they can continue paying people like Snoop Dogg $500,000 a day.
What are we doing?
Equaling a grand total of a $9 million contract for his time at the Olympics this year. We'll see you in 2028, Dr. Dre. We're headed straight to LA. Let's go. And so, like, that's where we're at. So for anyone hating on Ray Gunn, I will say it again. Why weren't you at the Olympics for what you're so good at?
What are we doing?
Go ahead. Put them up. Why weren't they there? And if you're saying, oh, I don't leave, I'm not a breakdown. Oh, I don't know how to breakdown. I don't know anything. But other people did. Why weren't they there?
What are we doing?
So we need to figure out who's a better dancer, JoJo Siwa or Ray Gunn. So let's say the jump, this. Oh, the look at my titties move, like shake them, girl. And you know when she's on stage in her leotard, it's going to be even more exaggerated. Let's keep going. It's our guilty pleasure, the prayer and the step. Thank God, Jesus. Yes, sir. And the break dance, the cha-cha, the salsa, the step, the side. Oh, the mime. We love it, girl. Keep going. Do it. Hit it. Yup. Hit it. Yup. And then the elephant. Do we approve of this? I don't know. What's better? The Ray Gunn kangaroo hop?
What are we doing?
Or the JoJo Siwa elephant? We need answers. Let's find out. We're going to ask the audience. FDGB man, I need you to comment if you're still watching. Hopefully he subscribed after his segment in the beginning of the episode. We need to know what we think about JoJo Siwa and the elephant versus Ray Gunn and the kangaroo hop, because I'm pretty sure they're similar. If Jake Paul is allowed to go to the LA Olympics in 2028 for boxing, JoJo Siwa should definitely be there. Now, they're not doing breakdancing. Maybe they'll do regular dancing. I don't know. But everyone's blaming Ray Gunn, even though the decision was made before she competed.
What are we doing?
Get your facts straight, folks. So, the elephant. I'm sorry. I keep going back to Ray Gunn. It's all about JoJo Siwa. Back to her. Just the elephant. Oh, God, she loves it. And, like, it's probably just a metaphor for, like, the dick she wished she had. We love the JoJo. She stopped by Access Hollywood to show her latest dance that just includes everything. We're just doing everything and anything. She says, hey, what's your favorite animal? She's like a balloon artist. JoJo Siwa is the balloon artist of the dance world.
What are we doing?
At this point in time, she is only doing this to make that mean lady from Dance Moms. Can we pull up the clip of JoJo Siwa getting yelled at on Dance Moms? Where's that at? Let's see. Her name is Abby. Abby kicks JoJo and Jess out of Pyramid what? Where are we at? Kicks JoJo out of the pyramid. Oh my gosh. Let's get some sound going here. Listen to this. So at this point in her life, this is where JoJo Siwa was at. And basically when she is doing this, the elephant and the dance and the goth and the makeup and all of the outlash now that she's an adult, the only reason for it is to prove this Abby woman was wrong. She is doing it because she knows Abby is watching and she hates that she is doing it. If you think that for 1 minute Abby approves of this, oh, you've got another
What are we doing?
Abby is livid. Watch that. Look at how she was treated by this woman.
Next we have JoJo.
JoJo, here we go.
You were 5th in the competition.
Oh, already off the bat, pissed. Look at this face.
What are we doing?
She's not happy. JoJo, from the beginning, at the age of 3, has always been number 1. And now she's 5th in the competition. I mean, it's a situation where, look at this reveal. Next we have JoJo.
JoJo.
Oh, the look, her mom. Oh, her mom. Look at her mom.
JoJo.
Disappointed, pissed. She knows what's coming by the mom. Oh, the mom.
You were 5th in the competition. You're 5th on the pyramid. Sometimes you act like a 5-year-old. Maybe 5 is your lucky number, or not so lucky number.
She did a good job last week.
Here we go. This is it.
What are we doing?
Mom steps in. Oh, the moms step in, and look at all the other moms. Oh, look at each one of them. Each one of them has the same face on. When a mom steps up to Abby, it's almost a suicidal sacrifice of you and your daughter's position on the team and her future career as a professional dancer. These moms are looking down, looking off to the side. They want nothing to do with what JoJo's mom is about to say.
What are we doing?
It's gonna get heated when she steps up. Oh, she did a good job last week, but look at these moms like, holy shit, bitch, what are you about to say? Don't say anything right now. Just shut the fuck up. What are you about to say? Oh, the look of the devil. Look at her. Look at that. This woman has protected JoJo since the beginning, and she will continue, and she will always do so. Oh, the moms fighting with Abby. Let's see.
5 is your lucky number, or not so lucky number.
She did a good job last week. She did a solo. You poured blood on her. You put a 4-inch crown on her head. She did a good job.
Keep telling her.
She did a good job. She did a good job.
Keep telling her.
Get her, Jacqueline.
You should have watched the movie. When you're given an assignment, you do it.
When I'm in a hotel room in a scary movie,
we're not.
JoJo Siwa.
What are we doing?
Is scared of the she told her to watch a scary movie. She poured blood on this girl because of the movie. She's in a hotel room, a place she's not familiar with, and she's forcing them to watch scary movies. This is the issue. She's like when you're given an assignment, you do it.
An assignment, you do it.
when I'm in a hotel room in a scary movie,
we're not gonna do it. I'm not gonna have her be scared for the next 6 months because she watched the movie you wanted her to watch.
And what
we
movie?
did the dance. We watched the trailer. I told her what it was about.
You didn't change your emotion. You had one look on your face the entire time.
It was good. She was possessed. It was good.
Well, if you're so good, you don't really need to be a part of the Abby Lee Dance Company.
Not part of the Abby Lee. I know this bitch is not about to rip the photo of her off the pyramid.
What are we doing?
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Good, you don't really need to be a part of the Abby Lee Dance Company.
All right. Are we done?
Can you put her picture back up? She deserves to be on the pyramid. She was in the group dance.
She deserves
She deserves nothing.
What are we doing?
I would have punched this woman in the face. And first of all, who is she yelling at? Because the person she's arguing with is over here. That's weird. But also, like, hey, I would have yelling at me about my kid like that, honey. Let's be a little less aggressive. Oh, make her cry.
Don't have an attitude that you are entitled in this world. You are not. You deserve nothing else. You earn it. You can't stand here and cry.
You know what?
No crying children.
You know what? I changed my mind.
What are we doing?
Completely flipped. I just became an Abby fan. And you know what? This woman made JoJo Siwa. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have a JoJo Siwa to make fun of. Listen, she said, look, this is exactly what I am telling you people. If you are complaining, if they are turning you down, if you have to take an extension cord from your neighbor's house to yours because you can't afford your electric bill in 2024, This is the advice you need to pay attention to. Not as harsh as this, but in the same nutshell, this is exactly what I have written down right here in pen, in ink, permanently written on this piece of paper. It says it right here, the same advice. You have to go out and get what is yours. You cannot wait on anyone else. You have to be your own boss and your own person in this world. And if you think you deserve to be on the pyramid, just know at any point in time, someone can take your photo and remove you from the pyramid, okay? And that's how life goes. And if you don't start realizing that, like JoJo Siwa did at just how old is she? 6 years old? Here, 7 years old? Then you've got a long thing coming if you're older than that. And if you're way older,
What are we doing?
is start the realization time that changes need to be made, because this is the advice. Listen to it again.
She deserves to be on the pyramid. She was in the group dance.
No,
She deserves
nothing.
nothing.
What are we
You have
doing?
an attitude that you are entitled in this world.
Go.
You are not.
Tell him.
You deserve nothing else. You earn it. You can't stand here and cry.
That's right.
I have no crying children.
Nope. None.
Well, if you yell at me, I'm gonna cry.
Get
Oh,
out.
bitch.
Go.
Get out.
Go.
Get her out.
Go.
Get
What are
this
we doing?
weak child out of here. My son couldn't. I'm not doing it. No way. I couldn't handle it. If you're too weak for the sauce, get out and leave. This is what we can thank for JoJo Siwa. And if you're not on board with what they're doing, then, I mean, you got to get out. And that's what they did. And I think it really shows that when we see things like this, it is because of Abby. It's because of Abby. And it's honestly, I've changed my mind. I was going in with her as another person we cancel on this episode.
What are we doing?
That goes to show, folks, you can be uncanceled in this world. Ask Andrew Tate, ask JoJo Siwa, ask them all. Ask Kanye West and his Cybertruck, ask the Biebs, ask everybody who's ever been canceled. Ask Chris D'Elia, ask Brian Callen, ask that whole empire that's failing over there. Listen, ask anyone who's been canceled. You can come back. It's not going to be the same, but you can come back if you put your heart into it. You can do the titty slap with the prayer hands and the Michael Jackson feet and the salsa dance and the elephant. Look at the elephant one more time. There it is. Just the flapping of the arm, wishing she had a penis.
What are we doing?
In my opinion, is in my opinion. I said in my opinion, it's what it is. So that's JoJo Siwa this week. Now listen, our final story. We're turning to one of the OG YouTubers, in my opinion. We're looking at none other than Philip DeFranco.
What are we doing?
And it saddens me, dude. It saddens me. I love Phil. I was just watching one of his shows the other day, and Megs turns to me and she says, You still watch Philip DeFranco? And yeah, man, up until about 72 hours ago, after I did some deep digging, because I thought, what's Phil been up to, and what's with the set? What's he doing? And I found some very interesting, disturbing things. And for me, it's 3 strikes, you're out.
What are we doing?
And it's honestly the tell-old tale of hero turned your average influencer, okay? It's happened to Dobrik. It's happened to the generations before and after him to come. These YouTubers are coming out. The MrBeast is now falling. Like every single time you think you're at the top, they bring you back down humbly. And so, listen, man, I was a fan of Phil, okay? I was a Phil fan. My sister and I would watch him during the summer of 2008, 2009, 2010, way back in the day, before he even had SourceFed. Once he got SourceFed Nerd, the Discovery buyout, life after Discovery, I have been through every iteration of Philip DeFranco. I've bought the merch. I've been on the Patreon for a while. Like, I've been through every iteration, every season of Philip DeFranco.
What are we doing?
For at least, it's been since 2010. So what are we, 10, 12, 15 plus years? I have been subscribed to Philip DeFranco for 15 plus years. So you can understand why everything that I say from here on out comes with a heavy heart, because it's unfortunate where he's ended up. And it's a sad tale. I mean, just thinking back to the SourceFed days and like supporting him with the funds, like to get his own space, even though he didn't have the backing of Discovery, and like Amanda and the behind the scenes, and they would ship out the posters and the shirts and the perks.
What are we doing?
And it was this triumphant like thing for Phil, and the supporters supported him, and the behind the scenes and the videos, and just his journey has been this insane thing. Okay. And so this was just kind of something hard to see. So now, like, even a year ago, we were seeing the set and everything he was doing, and it was looking fine. Okay. We got the streamies on the wall. We'll see the set in a second. We've got some video, some footage, and some evidence here that we're going to bring up in a minute. But, you know, like everything as of almost a year ago, we assumed was fine until now.
What are we doing?
And so it was, you know, it was one of those things where, you know, I guess the pandemic happened. Maybe that's what we're blaming this new era of DeFranco Incorporated on. But, you know, it just seems like due to the nature of his current daily setup, we've disbanded the team maybe. So it almost looks like, you know, this is like a Philip DeFranco does it kind of from his house now situation. So
what are we doing?
Let's check in on Phil. This was Phil, like I said.
Today we're talking about the...
Whoa, dude. This is Phil, like I said, a year ago. Okay, when was this posted? This was posted, a year ago, okay? This is the Philip DeFranco show just a year ago. You can see the set. It's nice. It looks decent. It might be virtual. Who knows?
What are we doing?
It's not as good as my Skyrise, you know what I mean? But it's fine. And so we found this clip. He's talking about tip culture, okay? And he's got some points here that we'll kind of sort of agree on. But just here, let's listen to the quality, the status, our beliefs here for Philip DeFranco a year ago. This is tip culture gone too far.
Someone fucked up a sure thing. And then, y'all, I hope you're enjoying this video, but before we continue, I just, the iPhone's gonna ask you a question really quick. That little interaction, at least in America, has become all too common. You're buying yourself a little juicy juice or whatever, and you get hit up for a tip. So much so, there have been more than a few videos, memes, and overall internet commentary regarding tip culture lately. And if you happen to hate it, know that you are not alone. With a recent Bankrate survey finding that 66% of Americans actually have a negative view of tipping, and 30% say that tipping has gotten out of control. And instead of tipping, 41% of respondents in the survey say that companies should just pay their employees more, which of course is not a new argument. That is an argument as old as tipping itself, right? It's the idea of, as a consumer, if tipping is part of the expected experience, just put what that money would be into the price of the thing they're buying.
And so let me just pause. Just listening to this man, he talks so fast. I know I'm a fast talker, but I mean, Jesus. So, and he cuts out all of his breaths. Like, it's insanity. It's ADHD to the max. But so, okay, so and this is just him, this is Phil, he's explaining tip culture, what everyone is experiencing in 2024.
What are we doing?
And so he'll go on to say, like, this comes from COVID, right? Like during COVID, during the lockdown, if someone was out, like say at Cinnabon, They're big culprits of this. I go to Cinnabon at least once a week, if not 3 to 4 times a week.
What are we doing?
For my autistic son. It's one of the many 3 things that he actually eats on this planet. So if we actually want to get him some carbs or something in his stomach, we have to go to Cinnabon. And every time we order, they ask me for, do you want to give a tip? Sometimes I do, because my girls always got me. They know me now because I'm in there a lot. But hey, tip culture, every 9 minutes, the iPad's turning around, right, Phil?
And pay your employee an actual livable wage. But a lot of what we're looking at now, it came from the pandemic, right? Many customers began tipping in non-traditional spaces to show appreciation to the employees who were putting themselves at risk. Something that has been argued has made those businesses reliant on that generosity. Jonathan Murdoch, a professor of public policy and economics at NYU, saying, with businesses still preparing for the possibility of a recession, they don't want to lock into higher wages. Tipping gives them more flexibility. But some argue that this reliance on tips is having a negative effect for employees, with the director of the Food Labor Research Center at UC Berkeley saying, employers think they're being smart by using tipping instead of raising wages. But really, they're risking losing staff because it's pissing consumers off, and the employees are the ones who have to deal with it. And so with this story, I find myself just having a lot of questions, and I'm hoping you guys can fill in some blanks.
Okay, so now here he's going to give his opinion. Let's hear Phil's closing thoughts. And this was a year ago, okay? And we've got his opinion over the next year. We have some of it. It hasn't changed, but here was his opinion a year ago on the tipping. He wants us, of course, he's trying to engage us in the comments. Here we go. Let's hear what he has to say.
Right, in general, how do you feel about tipping these days? What's your reaction to kind of the iPad being flipped around in your direction? What jobs do you think it does and does not make sense to have tipping culture? And then,
okay, no, he doesn't, but that's fine because we get his opinion. I'm sorry, I thought this video would have given it to us, but we know now, fast forward, that was last year, 2023, we know now he gives us the answer to that question. He gives us. I just wish YouTube wouldn't start auto-playing. Is there a plugin for that? Let's find it.
What are we doing?
So fast forward. This is what? Is this? This is okay. This is here we go. Here's another clip from Phil. Same set. Okay. And let's just see what he says here. Let's go to 4 minutes. He brings up, he's talking about Jesse Walters and his reaction to fast food workers needing to make 6-figure salaries.
What are we doing?
Which is obviously hilarious. So he's gonna give his opinions now on what he thinks tipping culture is. This is a few months after he did the bit on tipping culture in America. Ready?
Of himself trying to do math. But also, 2, what are your thoughts when it comes to the minimum wage? Someone that's lived in California for a while, I'm more familiar with the costs here. So that's going to affect my thoughts on what the minimum wage should be. And so if you're in another state where the cost of living is lower, you might have a different take. But also, if I can add one thing, and it is something that I have a gripe with. The argument, and this is kind of very more focused on the food services industry,
ready?
Or coffee shops, or
listen to this.
Or just things that aren't traditional restaurants. I think a lot of employers have the knowledge that they are not paying their employees enough. And I think part of that is showcased with the fact that how has everything in the last 5 years become a tippable transaction? And I say this as someone that tips every time. But for things as small as I'm buying a coffee at a coffee shop, there's a turn of the screen at that transaction now. Either reading 15, 20, 25%, or some places 20, 25, 30%. And understand that's been embraced because employers do not want to raise the price of their products and they don't want to pay their people better. But they're still passing off an extra cost to the consumer. It's just that they're doing it in a way that's not technically that, and it's an awkward interaction for a lot of people. It just becomes about optics.
So Phil is 100% against tipping culture.
What are we doing?
He claims that he tips every time, which I'm sure he does. But the fact that you go now to these places in the mall where you used to didn't have to tip, it wasn't really you never, even though I'm pretty sure they always had it on the screen, it's probably pushed now twice as much, at Subway, Dunkin' Donuts. You're supposed to tip the person making your Subway sandwich?
What are we doing?
Hey, hot take here. 1, don't tip the person at Subway. And 2, in our lifetime, I'm projecting in the next 5 to 10 years, we will see the downfall of Subway. This is the worst year for them yet. They are struggling to make money franchise owners were called to emergency meetings. Like, what do we got to do to get this $12 foot long? Like, it is $15 for a foot long now.
What are we doing?
And it's kind of hard for these Subway owners to make ends meet when there's one on every block and only 12 people get a Subway sub per week in America.
What are we doing?
And like, we need to figure out a solution, Subway, because it's not working with the $15 foot long. Like, even the coupons, half of the people won't take because the way the franchise models work, that money comes out of the owner's pocket. The franchise does not reimburse them for that $5 off coupon. The franchisee does not send them in the mail. Corporate does. Corporate sends out coupons for Subway that franchisees have to theoretically legally take, but then Subway doesn't reimburse them for that money. They have to take it out of their own earnings every single time. So Subway's one of those business models that is quickly spiraling down the drain. If you have a favorite Subway, I suggest you go there now before they are ever closed and you never see them again. If you know somebody per se in the central PA area who owns a Subway,
what are we doing?
I would strongly suggest you tell that person to quickly try to find a buyer for said franchise and get as much money out of it as you possibly can. I don't care how long it's been in your small town. It's a situation where, like, it's Subway. It's not real bread. There's sugar all in it. The tuna's not real, dude.
What are we doing?
So it's a situation where, tip culture has gotten out of control. So Philip DeFranco, okay, is not about the tips, okay? And so when we were doing our research, coming up with just trying to find what Phil was doing like today, we stumbled upon his new Beautiful Bastards merch drop, okay? And this merch drop is honestly one of probably his best pieces of work, okay?
What are we doing?
It's so serious. Let's try to find... Where are we getting the merch? Was it this one? Show me the merch, Phil. Show me the merch. Show me the merch. No. There's always a Beautiful Bastards drop. Where was it? Okay, let's find. We don't need to show him announcing it. All we need to really do is take notice to his entirely new set. Now that he has disbanded the team, we're not even getting a 2K output from Philip DeFranco these days.
What are we doing?
We're getting a 1080 enhanced at the best, and it is just still the same Philip DeFranco show. Ready, watch. It's been the same for years. Nope, what do we got? We don't even have any volume. I muted the site because I didn't want to hear his voice because it's the same intro for years.
Sup, you beautiful bastards. Welcome back to the Philip DeFranco Show. You daily dive into the news, and we have a lot to talk about.
The zoom-ins, the everything. It's like...
I'm so greasy and disheveled.
It's just, we've got a Philip DeFranco button.
What are we doing?
I found this. A shout out to the person who found it and made it, and I stole it from, but I stole it from you, and I love it.
I'm so greasy and disheveled.
And so this is Philip now. Let's get back to a wide shot. Here we go. As you can see from the wide shot, we are sitting in front of the bedroom closet with maybe a new iMac, one of the M1s at least.
What are we doing?
But it's still just the Philip DeFranco show. And I mean, he's looking skinny. Okay, we know he's probably on the Ozempic, maybe, but like, here he is now. And so, with the disbanding, obviously, of the team, there's no way he still has the team he had in the office pre-COVID, during COVID. There's no way he's sitting in front of a closet with Amanda running around fulfilling Patreon orders.
What are we doing?
And so why don't we check in the latest drop? Let's go to beautifulbastard.com. And where are we at here? Beautifulbastard.com. Let's just Beautiful Bastard, Philip DeFranco. And let's check the latest drop. It is these quality 3-pack of t-shirts and 3-pack of tank tops.
What are we doing?
If you're looking closely, let me see what happens if I zoom in here. If you're looking closely, nothing because the site is responsive. Okay, you can see, let me click on one, we'll zoom in. You can see that the t-shirts he's selling are blank.
What are we doing?
Philip DeFranco has 3 different color packs. We've got a blue, red, and green, a white, pink, and maroon color, and this kind of puke, vomit, dark blue, yellow color.
What are we doing?
And for 3 t-shirts, how much are they, dude? For 3 t-shirts, you're paying $75 to $25 a piece. So Philip DeFranco now is buying blank t-shirts, okay? And presumably with what we found, you can get a print press, you can get a t-shirt press, t-shirt shop quality print t-shirt maker at home for anywhere from $25 to upwards, of course, of thousands of dollars, but starting at $25 to $100, you can print this little beautiful bastards logo on blank t-shirts all day long.
What are we doing?
So while Philip DeFranco is upstairs in the spare bedroom of their LA mansion filming his show every morning, Lindsay's at a goat yoga exercise, the boys are off at their private school daycare, private nanny, I'm sure, and he's filming his podcasts and his shows or whatever he's doing now from his closet, and he's selling us this latest merch drop of blank tees and blank t-shirts, okay? Oh, and of course we're calling them, look, it's not dark blue, tan, and black, folks.
What are we doing?
It's midnight, blueberry, and cloud. He is purchasing the shirts from the dropshipper, getting them in the house, printing his logo on the tag that I'm sure will wash off in a few months. We have yet to find out because, listen to this, I'm wearing one because he also has, I couldn't do the colors. It's not my style.
What are we doing?
You know I don't do colors. We found an everyday black tee 3-pack, all blank, from Philip DeFranco. And if you thought I wasn't paying $150, I waited for the half off $75 sale, baby. I've got it on me now. Look at this. The merch from Philip DeFranco. Okay? You know what it feels like? It feels like a $10 t-shirt from Kohl's.
What are we doing?
It feels like Philip DeFranco is now selling blank merch. I mean, I thought I was going to change the game when I wasn't putting like design thumbnails and just putting blank thumbnails on my YouTube videos. But this is next level OG YouTube. You thought Logan Paul was scamming his audience?
What are we doing?
Philip DeFranco is on the next wave, dude.
I'm so greasy and disheveled.
It's the next level blank t-shirts. I've got it on me. It feels itchy on my skin. Like I feel a rash forming, okay? And that's just in my opinion, Phil.
What are we doing?
But what we found even more offensive is when we purchased or attempted to purchase the t-shirts, we added them to the cart, okay, normal, right? Shopify, it pops out, you can see, you hit checkout, and what do we find but the average information where before we even get to my information, before he wants to know my name, before he wants to know my address, anything related to the purchase.
What are we doing?
Philip DeFranco is asking me to leave a message for him, and for him to even maybe see or reply to that message, he wants me to leave an optional tip.
What are we doing?
The man, for the last year and a half, has been complaining about tip culture and the iPads at the mall and people in the industry who shouldn't be getting tips.
What are we doing?
And we now have Philip DeFranco asking for support via a tip for him and the beautiful bastard team. Shout out to Lindsay. They're probably putting Trey to work as well. But we are to support him with not a percentage either, you dirty bastard.
What are we doing?
You beautiful bastard. $3, $10, $20.
I'm so greasy and disheveled.
Or a custom. Let's see if we can do 50,000. Let's see if we can send Phil 500,000. Let's pay off Phil's mortgage and see. There it is. He's going to take 500,000 of my dollars as a tip and donation, and I'm sure he won't be taxed on it.
What are we doing?
So, wow, dude. We're selling blank merch. Broadcasting from the closet. Phil, if you need a helicopter ride, come to the East Coast. I'll pick you up on my way to New York every week. We can get some logos printed on the shirt. Megs has a cricket.
What are we doing?
Megs has a cricket she hasn't used in months. She's printed a few shirts here and there for me, but she doesn't really use it. So if you need someone to put designs, I'll come up with a little swirly curly Q, like a big BB. Let's just put a big BB on the t-shirts. Hey, what are we doing? Philip DeFranco, beautiful bastard collab coming soon.
What are we doing?
As long as Philip DeFranco doesn't take anything I said to heart with trying to cancel him here, listen, you can't lie to the internet. We're on to you, Phil. You know what I mean? The spiky hair, the fresh cut. I'm one to talk. I got to go see my stylist. I got to get the fuck out of here. This has been episode 154. Thank you guys for watching another episode, another week of the What Are We Doing podcast. I'm sorry for canceling your favorite creators this week, but it's about damn time. My name's Levi McCurdy. Shout out to you guys. I'll see you in the next one. It's all hypothetical. It's just a joke. Don't take me seriously. I'm on my way out, and if you have anything to say in the comments, make sure you can back it up and say it to my face.
I'm
you know
so
what
greasy
I mean?
and disheveled.
If you got something to say, say it to my face. If you got something to say, Donald, say it to my face. If you got something to say, Donald,